one of the primary ways that FODMAPs cause trouble is by being fermented by your microbiome. By definition, FODMAPs will not be digested, and the bacteria in your microbiome will use FODMAPs as a source of food and transform them into gas and other metabolites. By the way, that's a healthy thing. Having fermentation in the gut is important. It's actually quite important for your colonic and overall health. So that's a desirable thing. What is not desirable is sort of the byproducts of having too much gas produced, that things like bloating and sometimes constipation might arise. The types of gases that will come out of that really depend on the bacterial or the microbiota composition. And sometimes you will have hydrogen, sometimes you'll have methane, and sometimes other gases that are not detectable with those typical breath tests. And so some of that gas will leak into your bloodstream and end up in your lungs. And that's why you can measure it through a breath test. Now, what's important to know is that the correlation between symptoms and the breath test result is actually not very high, which means that you could have someone that has a lot of symptoms and not a lot of gas in the lungs, like methane in the lungs, and vice versa. You could be producing a ton of gas and no symptoms. In fact, folks that can eat perhaps large amounts of garlic and have no symptoms at all, maybe may have a high concentration of methane and hydrogen in their lungs, and they just don't have any symptoms or very, very low symptoms. And so it's not a perfect correlation. And so just keep that in mind.